Hello my peaches, what's up? I am Pratha and welcome to today's video. I love mentioning fragrances when we are talking about just one note and a collection of perfumes that have that dominant note in them. Today's dominant note is apple, and I don't have too many. Again, I would like to say that, but I have around 9 fragrances in here that have the apple, like dominant apple note in them. So without any more delays, let's get into this video and roll the intro. Let's start with an obvious one, and that is Winter Candy Apple from Bath & Body Works. This is like a fragrance shown on this channel a million times, but still rocks. The notes kind of mention the red apple, but I smell the crispy green apple in it. There's a difference in them. The golden apple, the red apple, the green apple, they all taste different. I used to love golden apples back in the days. That makes me realize that it has been years that I haven't had the golden apple. I used to eat so many golden apples back in the days. So this fragrance is like your crispy, juicy green apple candy. Probably it's the packaging that is making me feel that way, but it's a candy which is green apple flavored. It's super sweet. It's literally like a hard candy in here with some muskiness with it. It has the candy note, but has a muskiness as well in the base. That muskiness kind of balances it, and it balances it in a way that it makes it kind of winter and summer appropriate at the same time. This is not a fragrance which is available all the time. It will come back in the winter SAS. It came back for the summer SAS as well this time. I was like kind of surprised by that. You will definitely find it around November. This is one fragrance which gives me very happy vibes. It gives me kind of these college going girls, but kind of smelling yummy and candy like, but in a very good way, and kind of rocking this kind of fragrance because that green crispy apple kind of brings in the freshness in it, and the muskiness really balances it. So though the muskiness is kind of a little sharp, but it's really balancing it to be wearing it as an all year round fragrance in my personal opinion. So this is a beautiful apple fragrance, and the first ever, no, not the first ever, this was the second apple fragrance in my collection. I'm always super excited to put this on, and I have reached this level with this fragrance. I've used it quite a lot. I think I'm gonna finish up this bottle quite soon, and then it'll be time to buy a new one. So that's Winter Candy Apple from Bath & Body Works. The first ever apple fragrance that I got in my collection and fell for it right away is Zara apple juice. Luckily, it's very much available right now on the website, and you can get your hands on this. This again is a green apple juicy fragrance in here, which is sweet and has a super powdery dry down. It literally smells like a green apple fragranted talcum powder in here, and it is your perfect summer fragrance, which is just so refreshing. It smells like when you're having those heat strokes, when you're dripping with sweat and you want to feel refreshed and you want to feel fresh, and there is just one fragrance you can put on yourself and smell classy and put together and fresh at the same time. That is when apple juice comes in. Just can't get enough of this fragrance. I have almost finished it, so I think I need a new bottle now. This is one fragrance you can never ever go wrong with. It's feminine, it's sweet, it's delicate, it's juicy, it's bright, it's fresh, and it is powdery, and that powderiness makes it super classy. You cannot go wrong with this apple fragrance, trust me on that. If there's one summer fragrance that you want to own and always want to smell good with it, that has to be apple juice. Another Zara that I want to mention, which is no more available, but I have loved it since I've received it, and it was an accidental purchase because I was thinking about some, like, I tried some other fragrance in the store but couldn't remember the name. I did not buy it then and there because I like buying my stuff in bulk. I was not getting everything that I wanted to buy which was available on the website. So for that reason, I left it. I was like, I would not like to pay 300 rupees delivery charges. I would rather buy everything in bulk online. And in that confusion, I ended up buying Ruby Berries from Zara. Ruby Berries is a very, very beautiful, juicy, crispy, soda-like fragrance. It smells like it has a soda, like literally like a fizzy feel to it, which smells like a lot of red apple and lot of red berries mixed in together, crushed into a glass, and then some sugar put onto it, and then soda poured onto it, and then your fizzy red drink is ready to go into your mouth. It has a muskiness in the base, which is kind of making it wearable, and then in the dry down, it opens up like this fizzy, juicy, yummy, sugary drink. But in the dry down, all of that kind of comes together, kind of becomes like a shampoo. Like it has a very, very slight shampoo base to it. It's yummy, guys. I'm not understanding why Zara stopped selling this. It's so good. Even this one I have used quite a lot. I spray it like crazy on myself. I literally take a bath in it whenever I want to put this on. I've used it quite a lot. It originally came in a pouch, like the leather collection pouch, but that pouch was so bad quality that it started tearing off and it was looking so ugly that I threw it off. And now moving on, a fragrance that actually, when I was going through, Apple fragrances on Fragrantica to check whether I have something in my collection which has not been in my notice and has Apple notes to it, that is when the name of this fragrance came up, and we are talking about Winterberry Wonder. This is just another fragrance which will come back in the semi-annual sale. Though to me it smells like purple berries, like a sugary purple berry juice in here, but since it mentions the note of apple, probably that apple is kind of adding a crispiness to it, which is kind of lifting this fragrance. So that is what I can say about it. But mostly I smell a juicy berry kind of fragrance. Oh, I do see the apple thing in it. Yeah, I do. It has a crispy red apple note to it. I don't know how this never came to my mind, but yeah, very juicy berry and appley kind of drink in here. So like a thick juice drink. If you get a berry and apple juice from any brand like Tropicana and that kind of thick juice, that is what I'm talking about. So it literally smells like that. It's my absolute favorite all year round, just like winter candy apple. I feel that Winterberry Wonder is just another fragrance which can be pulled off all year round without any doubts, because this too has this crispy muskiness which really balances out the fragrance and makes it quite wearable for the entire year. And this one is just another fragrance that I have used quite a lot, but I don't feel the need of kind of backing up on this for now, because I have so many other berry fragrances that I can definitely go through them before thinking about buying a backup on this. So yeah, that's Winterberry Wonder, a niche fragrance, and it's obvious you would have known that this will be mentioned, and I am talking about Khayali Eden Juicy Apple. Now, Winter Candy Apple is very much a dupe for this, but that one is like a slightly fresher and muskier version of this. This is more like a denser take on an apple fragrance, to be honest. It's like a more dense and sweet kind of apple in here. And the apple that I smell here is like a mix of green and red apple notes with some sugary sweetness and some, like, it has the lychee notes to it. So it has juicy red apple, wild berries, jasmine, lychee, vanilla flower, and sensual musk. It's really beautiful with those lychee notes and vanilla notes. And the muskiness in this one is hardly noticeable. So I can say this is my more preferred fresh apple and a sweet apple fragrance in here. I love this one a lot. Out of all the fragrances I bought from Khayali, I think Eden Juicy Apple is something that I love the most. And but the prices on this are ridiculous. So I really cannot say that you go and buy this. If you afford it, that's great, and you will end up getting a very, very good apple fragrance. But the drawback on Khayali fragrances is that they do not last very long. So even after putting that much money, you will not get the longevity from this. So keeping that in mind, considering the price and the longevity, it does not add up. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. An amazing apple fragrance in the Indian market, and I found it, like I'm saying, manufactured in India, is Apple Allure from Skin Titan. Now, Skin Titan body mists are pretty good, but this is more like a florally apple, I would say. Like, it's sweet and everything, but it's more on the florally side of things. It's more like a mix of apple and citrus, but then taken over by some florals and a little warm and sweet in the base. It is more like on the perfumey side of things. All the other fragrances that I have mentioned before this are like through and through yummy, except apple juice. So they are yummy, they are more like juices or food items or something like that. But this one is like a very floral take and a citrusy and warm, florally and a slightly woody take on an apple fragrance. Like, it definitely has the apple notes, but it's more appropriate for the summer times, and it's more like a perfumey take on an apple fragrance. It's not like your juicy, yummy, sweet apple in here. So you will like it more if you do not like sticking to the gourmands, and if you like your fragrances to actually smell like perfumes and have a complexity to them. So it definitely has that complexity, and I can clearly smell that citrusy warmth to it and slightly woodiness and a lot of florals that are lifting it with the apple. So apple is not the dominant note in here. When you sniff on this, it does not actually smell like you're smelling apples. So it's like a mix of all these things in here and like a beautiful balance of all that. It will not come off as just a simple apple fragrance. If that is something you like, you can definitely look into it. But I can say, among all the apple fragrances that I'm talking about right now, this has to be my least favorite, because it's not that I hate it. No, I like this fragrance, but it is least favorite because I am more of a smooth and gourmand fragrance lover. This is more on the lifted and brighter and muskier side of things. I do smell some musk as well in here. So yeah, it's definitely on the muskier side of things. I'm so sorry. Let me put my phone on silent first. I'm getting messages back to back. Least favorite, but not bad. It's more appropriate to be wearing in the summer times. And now moving on. A very, very beautiful fragrance in my collection that I wish that it comes back and everyone could have it and own it and wear it without worrying about how many sprays to put on themselves. And I'm talking about Gingham Heart of Gold. I have absolutely no clue that why Bath & Body Works is not bringing this one back. I have literally been scared of putting this fragrance on myself because I don't want to run out of it. This is a very beautiful, bright, caramelly fragrance which has an apple note to it. It has the crisp golden apple, creamy vanilla bean, and warm sandalwood. Though it does not mention caramel, but it has a caramelly feel to it with the crispy apples. It definitely has that vanilla and the sandalwood as well. This is a very, very beautiful and light caramel fragrance, which is again very, very appropriate to be wearing in the summertime as well. I just get this, summer kind of vibe from this instead of a thick caramelly winter fragrance. I just love it, guys, and I am saving on it and I'm keeping it because it's a dupe for Juicy Couture Gold Couture. These days I've been forgetting the name of the fragrances, even of the fragrances that I own right now. So I have to go and check on the names on them, and I just kind of feel a little stupid sometimes. I always have to take a pause before remembering the names of these fragrances. So Heart of Gold is something that we need back from Bath & Body Works. Bright but sweet and soft and sandalwoody. There is absolutely nothing sharp about this fragrance. I just love this combination of crispy apple, vanilla, and caramel and sandalwood in here. I need this back because this is definitely something that I need to back up. though I have not used too much of it, but still I need a backup of this because it's so beautiful. Next up is a fragrance that literally blew my mind, and I was so happy to have found this fragrance, and I'm talking about Marshmallow Addiction from Zara. Do not remember the notes on this, but what I can tell you is that it's a crispy apple, like a bright crispy apple fragrance in here with vanilla and some soft, like super soft, sweet muskiness in it. It smells like the body mist from Bath and Body Works, which is fresh sparkling snow, or the candle, which is bright Christmas morning. It is exactly identical to those, and I just cannot recommend this enough. This is my dream come true apple fragrance for the summer times. I am not saying that the other apple fragrances are not close to my heart, but this is something that I was waiting for. I was actually waiting for fresh sparkling snow to get back in stock in SAS, and the body mist never came, so I was a little disappointed and still had hopes that it will come back. But from the past two Bath and Body Works semi-annual sales, it has not come back, and when I smelled this, I was like, yes, I don't need to wait anymore. This is exactly what I wanted. This is this crispy, musky, sweet, appley fragrance in here, which I love to the core. It also has the berries in it, but that crispy juiciness of apple is quite prominent, and I love it. Do grab this if you too have been looking for a fragrance like that. And closing down the video with a very new addition to my collection, and that is the reason, like, this fragrance was the reason that filming of this video was delayed intentionally, and I am talking about Victoria's Secret Moon Spiced Apple. This is also my fragrance of the day, and now that I have put Heart of Gold on myself, so I am smelling of these two things in here. So this is the fragrance combo of the day. Moon Spiced Apple has the notes of ruby apple, reveals warm maple sugar, and crystal ginger galaxy. Now what I smell in here is the caramelized apple slices with some jam, but then jam like apple jam on top, but then apple jam note literally take the back foot in the dry down, and the cinnamon takes over. Though it mentions ginger, but I smell the cinnamon in it. So now these are caramelized apple spices with cinnamon sprinkled on top. It's warm, it's sweet, spicy, it is sweet, appley, and caramelly kind of fragrance. I just cannot sniff enough on it. It's so beautiful. It gives me the Halloween vibes, it gives me the strong fall autumn vibes, and I love this fragrance. This is the only apple fragrance in my collection which is leaning on the winter side of things and on the warm, like this warm apple. I don't have anything else in my collection that I can say that has this kind of fragrance in it. So this is the only warm apple fragrance in my collection. So yes, if you don't have a warm apple, you need this right now. And this was the last one. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoy making these videos of dedicated notes. So if you're still here watching me and liking me, don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to leave some apple emojis down below, because this is an apple video and apple emojis are a must in the comments section. I will see you in the next one. Till then, keep looking beautiful, keep smelling good. Have a great day all. Bye bye. Mwah.